Okay, so let's make sure our sound is working. We've had several videos with sound issues. So we're going to make sure we have good sound today. Today is about watering. So let me make sure we can hear you guys. Interesting enough, I had to do the thumbnail twice. Let's see if we can hear. We can hear you guys. Great, great. Yay! Enough. I'm happy. We're good. Hey, cultivators. It's Angeline. You have no idea how excited I am. Today we are watering. We're going through all of our plants, indoors, outdoor, hydroponic, outside, upstairs, everywhere, and get them watered, fed, check in, and we're going to go through how you know that you need to feed the plants, how you know that they need to be watered, how much water we're watering, all this stuff from seedlings to our hydro, to our vertical towers, to everything, our potatoes, we're all in. Today's a good day to garden. We got a lot to do, so let's get started. So first, we're going to be starting with our plant here, our potato. I wanted to start outside because it's cold out there. So I just want to get the coldness out. So we have our potatoes growing here. In our last video, I didn't get to put it up because we had our sound issues. So just going through that. Our last video, we put the lights back here. I fell off. I'm going to get some combat tape. However, we have our potato plant growing right there. So there it goes. Oh, it did grow a lot since we last put it in. It's only been like a few days. So first thing we're going to water are our potatoes. So this is our indoor tower. It's very tall. It has a little extra lifts on it. We're just going to add some water there. Oh, wow. I didn't anticipate how tall this was. We're just going to put some water in. There's a catchment at the bottom. All of these rows are not filled. So we are just going to put a little bit because we're only really watering this row right here. So we're just going to put some in. There is a tray to collect it. As it goes down the first two rows, that should be it. So I just put a little bit, half a gallon in there. Then we have our ginger plant. Our ginger plant needs water. There's no question. I'm not testing. It needs water because I don't water it that often. I'm not feeding it. We're leaving it as is. We had slow release in there. Here we go. Now we have our, we're ready to feed. We got a lot of feeding to do in here. So we have our lettuce, which is growing out here. We have our pepper plants. So we are going to, let's figure out how we're going to do this. And we have our seedlings. So we got quite a lot of things going on this shelf. You know what? This shelf is a little complex. Let's go outside quickly because I want to be able to take my jacket off and go through these, sit down and go through these one by one with you guys. However, outside is cold today. So let's run outside quickly and do our plants outside. So I have two pre-mixed high nitrogen food here. So these are both high nitrogen. It's actually a third one. So we got two for outdoors, one for upstairs, and that one there for outside in the front. These plants outside need their food. I missed one of the days. It was cold the other day. I don't know why I locked this. I knew I was going out. Now, I can't get you guys out. Hold on. Let's put this down. There we go. All right, so this is how I pre-mix it. I mix it to the gallon. This is some fish emulsion. We do have our brassicas growing strong out here. They are using a higher nitrogen mix. So we're mixing our higher nitrogen mix. Woo! Wow, they are doing pretty good out here for our brassica plants. I pulled up some of our other plants. This is our kale that we got out here. It definitely needs some watering. So we got, come on out. Come on out. Come on. Where's your jacket? Go get your jacket. Go get your jacket. Come on. I had her dressed to come. So what we're doing in this one here is is considerably thirsty. We're gonna put a gallon of water in here first. I mean, we have a gallon of food, but I'm gonna water it from the center because I know that's where the roots are. All of these plants in this one are brassicas, so they're all good for the high nitrogen mix. But they are also very thirsty, so I'm gonna put some water in directly first, then put our gallon and go from there, just so that it gets enough water, the watering. We got a piece of our iceberg, we got some green, we got some growth, good growth going here. We got see our brassica row right here is doing very good. I see some bumps on it. Wonder if anybody's been snacking. Our bok choy, they're doing great out here in the winter. Oops. In our green stalk. I guess it might be a little warmer because we are inside of the sunroom, but see, let's see these little bumps, make sure there's nothing, having a good time. So I just put a drop of water in there. So yeah, we have our plants doing pretty good out here. Our bok choy, our iceberg, our greens and cabbage, they're growing up pretty good in these spaces. So let me put them back over here, and now we're gonna give them some food. So I'm giving them a gallon of food, and this is a mixture, as I said, high nitrogen, which is good for. Come on, hold on, let me get her coat. You lost your coat? You don't have to cry. Come on. Her coat got stuck. All right, so we're gonna put our gallon of fish emulsion. Again, I was saying it's high nitrogen, and the high nitrogen is good for our leafy greens, our brassicas, which we have out here. I think everything out in this container can take a nice high nitrogen mix. So we're just gonna drop that in there. Our spinach that's just been hanging out, it's been hanging in there for the long haul. You know, every time it freezes, it drops. It was kind of cold last night. Then it gets back up. For our bok choy, that's good for some nice fish emulsion. And then our transfer plants that we just put here the other day, our kale, they are definitely thirsty. So we're just gonna give it a nice helping of some good stuff there. All right, and then we have this one. We don't have much going on. This is arugula. And then we don't really have too many plants in this other green stalk that are weather ready. We have a lot of herbs in here. So the herbs have fallen back for the winter. And we're gonna just add some regular water. Water it like normal. So this one, as you can see, is getting that nice morning sun. Yes, Addie. We're just gonna give this a quick water. We have some rice in here. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we got some summer plants that we're just waiting for them to fall back. Yes. Yes. You want to hold one? Here. You don't want to water? She doesn't want to water. All right, so let's turn these back towards the sun so they can get their sunlight needed or light or preferred. They're doing pretty good. And let it continue. Let's get some of these these get sunlight in the afternoon. So these are afternoon, and then these are our morning light. All right, let's head out to our tented off one out there and give it some food too. Ooh. We had very warm weather last week. We were in the 70s. I'm not even say last week, a few days ago. We were in the 70s. But of course, the temperature went back down. I had our frost cover open a little bit so it could vent. We do have some of our plants doing their best in there. We do have, I can't believe it. We got eating our plants, eating cold to the weather. Just wash them off. Any on the ones inside. Oh, snackety snacks. All right, these are carrots. So we have some greens in here. We also have some stuff eating the greens. I thought you guys could see. So I have to wash them off quickly. So we got our greens, some beets, and lots of carrots. So our carrots don't need that much nitrogen. So I'm just gonna give here a little water, a quick water. So we got some that was eating, snacking on our greens here. Rinse off. We have some beets in there. It's very crowded, so I don't know how they're gonna really share the space. But I'm gonna give them a little water, just a little bit. And then we're gonna give them some food. However, this food, come on. Let's get you guys see some of our greens. Yes, our greens. Yes, Addie. You wanna go back inside? Go back inside. Oh, you don't want to go back inside? Okay, we're gonna go inside soon. All right. So yes, it is cold today. It's almost not really that cold, but it was 70 degrees a few days ago, so that's cold to us. So we have our cannabis, which are roots. Roots do not like too much nitrate. So we're just gonna put a little bit and we're just gonna put some more of our fish emulsion directly in the plants that really want it, which are these leafy greens. So our green mustards. Our other mustard, our red mustard is bolted because apparently it was too hot in here. But it's okay because we're gonna put some more red ones back in here. So this is our outdoor frost covered green stock. Today's cold. Excuse me. Come on, inside. Yes. Well, today is very cold. So since today is cold, we are keeping our cover closed. But the other day it was warm, so I opened our cover up. All right, whoops. Addie, you got me holding you, the thing, everything. The camera. All right, you have to walk in. Yes, inside. Yes, you go inside. We're moving to the front. Inside. All right, let me get y'all. I try to empty the hose. At least bring the sunroom where it's a little warmer. We got our lettuce. We have our red sorrel, collards, mustard green, red mustard green, green. All right, let's go in. Inside, where it's warm. Yes, come on in. Okay, so that is our outdoor. Now we have our brassicas in the front. Now the brassicas in the front, I'm just gonna give them a little bit of this. This is really what they need. They need a lot of this. However, we are also gonna be watering our hydroponic plants. So they're also gonna get that mixture too. So they're gonna get double food. All right, so we are gonna water our brassicas. They love high nitrogen. They're growing pretty slow out here. It was a little frosty, so they're a little extra green. Here is on the north side. There's very little bit of sun. However, once the weather did warm up those other days, they gained a few inches pretty quickly. I'm just pouring a little bit here. And the reason why we're pouring a little bit on them is because, again, they're going to come and get that full dose of food from our hydroponic tank. So not to waste the hydroponic food. When I empty the water, we do the water in our hydroponic tank. they get the food from it. So they're also going to be getting that. So there, those are for now our high nitrogen needing plants. Yes, Addie, what happened? What'd you say? So now we can come in here, sit down, and go through our seedlings and our low nitrogen needing plants. We're also giving them food as well. All right. Yes, Addie. What did you say? Okay, so here we are with our plants that need low nitrogen. So we're going to give them some food also. So we have our, well, not all, some of them, because this one right here, our lettuce, also leafy green, high nitrogen. So I'm going to put some of that high nitrogen mixture in our little pouring container so that it makes it easier to get into our self-watering cups. Now I do not put it in there on every single water. So I water a couple times with regular water and then once every 2 to 3 weeks, or when the plant looks hungry, then I use our high nitrogen food. So I'm going to actually fill this up, but we have plants that have different requirements on this shelf. So we're going to go through the different requirements. So we're going to start at the top, high nitrogen. So we're going to pour some of our high nitrogen fish emulsion. And then we have low nitrogen. Now this one, I can see little flies flying around it. So that tells me it doesn't need any water. Where's a little hole for this? All right, hold on. I got to turn it. I've been snacking. As you can see, the leaves are a little dry, but that's because we haven't eaten it and they're turning red. Well, red is the natural color for our red sail lettuce. So now we're going to give it our lettuce a little snack. So yes, the water, that's the color of the water. Because it does have the emulsion in it. I'm going to give this a little wipe down. We got lots of little gnats because this one has too much water in it. All right, now here, I recently fed this plant. As you can see, the bottom is pretty white, red there. That is a low nitrogen. And this is all of our things with leaves are high nitrogen. So our peppers are low nitrogen though. But this is our high nitrogen babies here, down here. So we did our mustard greens the other day in the double cup method, our mustard green seedlings, and they are high nitrogen needing plants. So let me pour some more of this water, the high nitrogen mix into the can. They love it. So the easy way to tell who needs what: leafy greens, fruiting plants, lower nitrogen. Leaves, high nitrogen. If you give high nitrogen to the leafy greens, then they are going to, the leafy greens are going to be fine. If you give it to the other greens, the fruiting plants, then they're going to have a lot of leaves and not that many. And not that much fruit. So you want more fruit. We want to eat. We don't want big, beautiful, low fruit. I rather small and skinny with no food. With lots of fruit than big and leafy. So we have our mustard green seedlings that we used our double cup method for. Let me just bring it to you guys so you can see when we thinned them the other day. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water here. What I usually do is I add the water. If it drips out the bottom, later on in the week, if I see the plant a little thirsty, I just pour the water back up there. So this one's going to be eating for a little while. But definitely it's in need. I feel like since I have the high nitrogen mixture in this container, we should go visit our other ones. Even though I was going to go room by room, we should go visit our other mustard greens, which are also, see, the leaves are a little yellow. The soil is definitely dry. See, it has dripped down. And we have too much. Let's see where we can pour this. Let's see, did this cup fill up to too much? Now it's soaking at the bottom. Yes, we did too much in all of them. So let's pour it back into the container. Into the container. It'll reach out and drink it eventually. But it might be a little too much past the rock. So it leaked past our safeguard there. So let me just put this here. I don't want it leaking on the, so I'm just gonna pour some of this back in. And we are gonna, I mean, we can have some at the bottom, but our rock needs to clear it so the plant gets some space to drain out. There we go. So we have that room there. You don't want it just sitting in the liquid. You want it just right above the liquid. We're gonna leave this one here to grow. We might have to eat a salad today because we don't want our lettuce blocking out the light. Now we have our low hydrogen plant needs. However, we did make quite a few mustard green seedlings from a couple of weeks before. So we are going to add some of our high nitrogen mix to our other mustard green seedlings, but they're in another location. So we have some getting natural sunlight and we have some getting light. But eventually we're going to take these out and put it in that green stock outside. The cover. And try to leave it at a space where it's more uncovered so it doesn't overheat, because the last one's overheated. All right, so let's go and put it in our other seedlings. Let's go to our other mustard green seedlings and finish off this watering can. So let's head on to those seedlings. Yes? Yes? I'm right here. I'm walking to go water the plants. Alrighty. So we have our olive tree, which is doing good. I've had it doing leaves. It's not at its fruiting stage, so adding some of the high nitrogen is fine at this point. But these are our plants here. They are definitely thirsty. They definitely are in need of food. The bottom is dry. They're drying out a little bit. They're getting natural sunlight. So we're going to add, I was like, are they overwatered or underwatered? And I checked it. It was so dry. So you don't want them to get this dry. It was extremely dry. Also, it's right under the heater, whereas those other ones are not under a heater. Let's turn our container here, our self-watering pot that's here in our natural sunlight, and let's get it some food. All right, so these are dripping out at the bottom, not too much. Again, it drips out the bottom. We go back and give it some extra, like re-water it. So we're gonna get this some good food. Usually after good watering like this, they get pretty quickly. So these are all mustard greens here. So they're all brassicas and leafy greens. They're actually all good for the weather outside as well. I keep them by the window so they can get all of that nice cold air on them. And so these require high nitrogen. Right now, our avocado plant got too much water. At some point, I can see the leaves around the edges a little brown. So we are not watering this at all. So for the avocado plant, it takes very little water. As you can see, we have a little yellow leaf. That's too much water here and there. And then we have a little bit of brown. So these very quickly, the way you're supposed to check is to check and see if it's moist in here. It is moist right here. And I bottom water. So it does have too much water in it. So we are just going to leave it and just let it do its thing. Let the water dry out eventually. But it is a drought tolerant plant. However, it's a drought tolerant plant that's really sensitive to too much water. So it's also cold hardy avocado plants as well. So this one takes minimal watering. Sometimes I leave it for like months without watering it. When it's outside, I have to bring it inside to make sure it doesn't get too much water because it does very easily. I think I watered it twice since it's been inside and it got overwatered. And I only put water in the tray down here. I don't actually pour the water in from the top. So we have quite a little bit of this water. So I'm going to just put it in, empty out the container because our next set of plants all require low nitrogen for their food. So this plant is a fruiting plant, but it's not at that stage right now. And it had to recover from outside, all this loss, all the stress. So I'm just going to give it the rest of the food. I have this, what is this? I forgot what this is called. Well, I have a plant here that was in our garden that we're letting it overwinter in this room until it is ready to go outside. So this is our hibiscus. There we go, red hibiscus. But it requires a lot of light. However, we are getting some new growth here. So we'll see how it goes. It went from our garden hydroponic system, tons of water, tons of light, to I brought it in here. But we do have new growth. I was just keeping it alive for the winter, but we'll see how it goes. We'll keep an eye on that one. And so I put the rest of the food, the high nitrogen, in our olive tree here. This olive tree, again, had a hard time outside, but once it came inside, it started to flourish. It started to grow. Recently, I turned it so that it can get sunlight on the other side. But this one takes food almost every 3 to 4 days. I water it, whereas avocado is every 2 to 3 months. Water it. As I said, since the summertime, it came in, I would say, it came in October. So it came in October, the end of September, and the avocado plant has been watered twice since then, and it's been overwatered the 2 times. So it's very drought tolerant. It's very sensitive to water. It holds water very well. Unlike the olive tree, it's also drought tolerant, but if you water it, the more you water, the more it grows, and it just keeps going and going and going. So you don't have to worry about that. But it can take the high nitrogen fish emulsion rather than the low nitrogen one. But the low nitrogen one is for our other plants. So let's go on to that. Okay. So we filled our water can. We've emptied our water can. Now we're going to be adding low nitrogen food to it. Now we have our seedlings. Usually we just check to see if our seedlings need water by how damp they are. This one looks a little moist. They're all looking a little moist. However, they haven't been watered since I put them in there. So I'm going to give them just a little bit of food watering for both of them. Again, the pepper plant is one that it just grow more. It's not going to have like a meltdown if you put, what was that? If you put extra water in it. So they are doing pretty good. Since the light is in this corner, I rotate them. We have another set of pepper plants here. Same thing, where the light is, I rotate them every few days so that everybody gets some light. And then we have our seedlings down here. And these are doing pretty good. I'm not going to add water. They are still very wet. You can see the wetness from the bottom, actually. You can still see some water in there. But they're doing pretty good. I put some more collards in there. And we have peppers. Like, let me see what it is. Banana peppers. Cause I was like, hey, what is this? So we have our banana peppers. Oh yes, we had the banana peppers that we put in earlier from our banana plant fruit. So we just sowed it immediately and they have germinated and started. And then our other seedling tray, we had amaranth and we have some of the yellow peppers that were in the click row that needed some extra growing while the other ones already flourished. So we have our little amaranth starting here. Again, these are still very moist. They just got in here, so we're just gonna let them do their thing. Let me again rotate these with their light. See, everybody's bending and tall. We want them to be strong and solid. So we're just gonna let them grow in peace. We have this one. This takes very long to germinate. It doesn't need any water. It doesn't look dry either, so we're good here. And then we have, oh, we got a little bit of green showing up. Was that thyme? See a little thyme showing up. But other than that, this is our thyme, cilantro, dill, and oregano. Let's put this down. I see a little bit of thyme growing there. So we keep this closed and humidified. Oh, we got a lot of stuff going. Let's see if I can get you guys to zoom in to see them. See a little bit of green there growing here. So we have some sprouts sprouting at the thyme sprouts. And then I have to go look to see what this is. And cilantro sprouts that have sprouted. We're going to keep it humid and damp in there. Don't need too much light. I mean, it is starting, but yes. And then that is our sorrel. So these seedlings, we did them about a week ago. And we will be watering today. So let me just, oh, this one, oh no, it doesn't have water. I was like, it still has water. But so these are our seedlings. These are our pepper plants. We are definitely going to feed them. So they are fruiting plants. And they are small. But they are just regular small plants. And we're going to give them a dose of our low nitrogen food. And again, for these plants, we're just giving them some food. We're not doing a full watering, but as usual, I water from the bottom. That first watering, the soil is moist, it's moisture control soil. This thing is leaking while I'm pouring it. We don't want this on the floor because this stuff does have a smell. So when using indoors, that's also why I bottom water when watering these plants indoors so that the top stays dry and then you don't smell it later. It's not on the top of the soil. It only needs the top of the soil still there. But of course, everything smells great in here with our dill and our thyme and our basil that we have doing its thing. So again, in here, I only water it up to the little circle there at the bottom. We're training our roots to go down deep. Again, wow, these plants are so thirsty. They just absorb the water so fast. Every time I'm amazed on how quickly it absorbs the water. The quicker it absorbs the water, by the way, tells you how thirsty the plant is. But we are feeding. So if I have to do another round, I'm just going to do another round with regular water. So we're just putting enough for the plants to eat. These are seedling size. I'd say they're little kids. They'll be teens shortly. So we're just filling it up so that the whole bottom tray has water up to the circle. Sometimes I do it in different parts of the tray, but we want to see the tray water go across the whole tray, not just in one side. And then one plant gets all the food and the other ones don't get anything. There we go. So we got water right across. Does this one have water right across? Yes, this has water right across. And then this one had water right across. The water is gone now. All right, so we have our tray of these, which are low nitrogen requesting. These you can feed pretty often. And then we're just going to put this here back by the lights. Let me refill our container up because we have quite a few more seedlings and pepper plants. Oh, we have a plant that went to seed. It's too high, I guess, in here. Too many plants in here. We have some lettuce that went to seed already. Indoors. I think these lights are a little warmer, I believe. All right, let's get these, fill up our water containers, and we have some bigger pepper plants that do require a lot more food and we can see are much more thirsty. So we're going to head over to those plants right now. Our natural sunlight pepper plants. So let's head over there right now. Let's see what kind of stuff Arlene is getting into. All right, so we have our citrus corner. They do not require watering right now. Well, we're gonna check. Our Meyer lemon got too much water. It didn't adjust well. Our orange, navel orange is doing pretty good. Let's see if it needs water. Oh, it's nice and damp, so we don't need to give it water. Our lemons, key lime is flowering. It's damp, doesn't need any water. Everyone here seems to be nice and moist. This one, the leaves are a little saggy. Our pepper plant, let's see if it's always dry. Doesn't matter what, this plant is dry. I think I watered it yesterday. But it is producing peppers. We have peppers all over. We're almost due for harvest. If you can see the little orange back there. So we got peppers growing through and through this plant all around. This plant doesn't necessarily need food. I did do slow release originally when planting it, but again, that was probably 9 months ago. So we are just adding some of our food, our pepper mix for this one to eat. Now this pepper plant is a lot older and doesn't have as much food. It is still producing peppers, but you can see the leaves are a little more yellow. So it is definitely hungry. So let me just move the table over a little bit so I can get in there and feed this pepper plant. So this is a lot older, this one here. So this one definitely needs some food. And then this one as well. I'm going to share the food here. And then we're going to check on our mandarin orange and see how much. So I, again, as usual, bottom water the plants. We have our pepper plants in here too. They also need food, but I just ran out of food. So I'm going to go get my other mixture. Let's check this one. This one is dry. So we are going to add some water to this orange plant. I'm looking at some of the leaves. They look solid though. It's not dry. It is just not soaking wet like the rest of them. So I'm going to leave this orange plant just a little longer so it doesn't need any extra water. So you see these are some of the leaves that were on the pepper plant, the other pepper plant that we just fed. And so this plant definitely needed some food. It's growing its arms out here, strong, reaching out. So that pepper plant definitely needs some food. This orange plant is looking very healthy. And the soil is dry, but not too dry. So I'm going to leave it there and let it continue to use the moisture it has. We don't want to overwater it. They're very sensitive to being overwatered, so we're not doing that. Our stevia is growing good. I just broke off the the dry parts and I put it inside of the container because I don't want to actually lose the seeds. If they start sprouting in there, that's fine. And then we have our pepper plant here and our rosemary. The soil is wet, so it is very wet. Just this pepper plant here, but we need a little bit more food, so we're gonna go get some food for our pepper seedlings. So these seedlings are growing in sunlight, whereas the other ones are growing in our LEDs. So we got some different spaces here for our seedlings to grow. So let me put you guys here and go get some more of our mixture. Our babies, they are past germination. They're past seedling stage. I call them seedlings because they're small and babies, but they do have true leaves, which are the leaves that the best way to explain them are they look like the leaves that they truly should be. So they have baby leaves, the condylingas, yes? The juice is finished. They have the condylingas leaves, and then they have the true leaves. So these little ones down here are conolingas, but then these that are starting to grow are true leaves. Let's get this here. The sun kind of passes around this direction. So if it doesn't catch it first thing, it catches it a little later. These seem to be well watered. They're not losing water as much as the ones under the grow lights indoors that we were at first. Let's see how much. Make sure the water is getting all the way around. Yep. So they're not as dry, but they can still use a little bit of food. We have our what is this? This one's soaking wet. This has all the water it needs. We have our aloe plant here. And our aloe plant it seems very moist. So our aloe plant here seems very moist. Yeah, the soil is moist. Too moist, actually, I feel, for aloe plant, but we'll let it dry out they'll dry out over time. It is quite cool here. So this is our corner here that we've fed all our plants. Mommy. Yes? We're going to our next section, and we are going to, you broke it? We know you broke it. Excuse me. She's been here with this light. We are going to go to our next section, to our hydroponic area. All right, so here we are. To our garden. Well, before we go to our garden, we got our click grow here. We have our click grow. Our plants, we thinned it out the other day. Plants are doing pretty good. Let's get the light on in here. No, it still doesn't help. Plants are doing pretty good. We got a pepper plant, a basil, and then we have our beans in here. How wet is it? Oh, this is dry. This is dry. This is drier than dry. All right, so our beans, we are going to give them some moisture. One of these should be plain water. Let me see if this is our plain water. Or does this have the mix? Nope. Ooh, it has the mix. Let's get a plain water for this plant here, because we also need a plain water. Yeah, there we go. So these are our beans, our black beans. We planted these seedlings here. So we're just getting these started indoors. That's what is drier than dry. So we can give it a little water and let it keep it moist. So those aren't being kept moist at all. So we're going to keep those moist in there. So this is how we water we're going to keep those watered and moist, our black beans. Then we have our sweet yellow peppers and basil in our click grow. This one, our sensor shows that it is full. So our bar here is up. Once the water goes down, this goes down. So that one is good to water. These they need water. Not only do they need water, they need to be changed. So we're going to be doing that today, but we are going to, while we do that, we are going to have our little babies here get their water. Checking in our nursery here. So we did a lot of seedlings last week. Because we're getting ready for spring. So not all these were last week. So this is our mustard. So talk about true leaves. Oh, we got good roots. But see, these is an example of not having true leaves. So these are the conolingus leaves. And the true leaves, they're very small and they're starting to form right in there. Once they start to form, then usually the plant's good to go for food and all those good stuff. But these plants grow very big, and we only need one per cube. Sometimes I put 2 per cube in here. So I think two of them fit comfortably. So we're gonna have to thin this out. If we have time, we'll thin them out today. If not, it could stay in here because it doesn't have any true leaves yet. Yes? This is our banana pepper that we originally grew. We're gonna put this in the main area. These actually need watering. So, because they're dry at the top here. So we want to keep them moist. These, we don't have to worry about them needing watering because although these are dry at the top, the bottom is still wet. However, the seeds are up here. So we need it to be a little moist where the seeds are. So we gave these water recently. I'm deciding whether or not it looks kind of damp though. So we're not gonna water these, but we will be thinning them out if we have time today. We'll give these a thin them and put them into directly into our garden. So let's go see what we have growing in our garden. How it's doing, even though we are definitely watering. Regardless, it needs to be watered. We will be doing some moving around. We are watering. We should do some root check. Our garden is full. We have our Swiss chard, yellow, red. We have our lettuce wall here, iceberg, butterhead, breen. So we got several types of lettuce here. Our thyme is still hanging in there. The thyme was, wow, these tomatoes are flowering. When the tomatoes are flowering this much, I don't like to do too much movement around them. We just want them to flower and keep going and mature, but they're flowering a lot. So, you know, when you see them flowering, give them a little tap. I tap the stem. I don't always shake it up. So I just give the stem a little tap, and then the peppers to keep them thriving. This pepper plant is holding on and blocking light from several other plants. So I'm going to move it to over here. The pepper plant grows tall, so it does great anywhere. I think it was there for a little while in this section. We made juice in one of our videos. So we made juice for our celery. So our celery plant is a lot smaller. And it kind of like blocked out this plant here from getting light. So we have one of our mustard plants are going to be there. We have lavender growing here. We have, that's our lavender, spinach. We have tons of little baby tomatoes coming out, ready to go. We have our rosemary. We have our basil, which is flowering. We have lots of parsley. We have some, what is this? Mint. We have some peppers, some Goliath peppers. We got a lot of little yellow tomatoes in there. So we have a yellow tomato plant, a red tomato plant. See if this is okay, good. Sometimes the lettuce, you have to eat the lettuce. You have to eat your salads daily, every day. Because if not, the lettuce starts blocking out plants' light and snuffing them out. So this pepper kind of was struggling for a little while, but it's making a comeback. We got a little bud going on there. We got some leaves, but you gotta eat the lettuce to make sure it's not killing another plant with its giant leaves. But that seems to be all it's blocking is the banana stem. Yes, we got our Goliath pepper doing good down here. We got our parsley growing out. Yes, Eddie? And we got lots of tomatoes. I don't want to mess too much with our tomato plants, but we are going to be adding our nursery plants in there. All right, so we have to change the water. So time to change our water in our garden. Last time the quickest water change we did was 7 minutes. Can we top that? Probably not, because we're doing 2 of them. So it won't be the same amount of time. But let me get our little spoon for our water. For our measuring. And we are going to do our garden, which is very easy. Few steps. Put our towel down. Right now, not this garden, our other garden. This garden had this problem before, and then now it doesn't. The other garden has a little bit of extra, had a little bit of extra bacteria growth. For that, we put in some vinegar. We use a Hydro Boost mix, but right now I'm out of that. It's supposed to come in today. So later today, I'll probably add the Hydro Boost, so you won't see me put that in today. It'll just be food and water. Now, we're supposed to check the roots. The tomatoes doing so well, and I don't want to break anything. Also, so is our lettuce. So what we'll probably do is, usually I check the roots when I do this. What we'll probably do is take out and harvest some of our lettuce, so we can get some space. Our lettuce, everybody's eating everybody. Look at this. These beautiful roots. So yeah, this is how you know when the lettuce needs harvesting. The ones at the bottom die. If you don't eat them, they just kind of wither away. These roots are on the outside, but there's someone else's roots are in these roots, and so on and so forth, right down the list. However, these roots look very healthy, so I'm happy to see that. And as again, I was mentioning, we had a little extra growth. Put some apple cider vinegar in there. As you can see, there's some roots. There's some roots in here that was drinking from this. But that everybody's just in everyone else's area. So this is what you do with a root check, is to make sure that no one is overgrowing into someone else's space. And aggressively taking their food. Once we put those mustard greens in there, we'll be doing a lot more. All right. So yes, the tomatoes, which are doing so well, and wow, this is who's eating. I'm just gonna pop up that root. I'm not pulling the tomatoes out. So here's the issue that I have with pulling the tomatoes out. I then have to unattach them from their support. They break, they snap, and then I don't like that. They break and snap. So I just leave them in there. Usually they don't. Look at this. Usually they don't. This is why today is supposed to be root check day. I said I wasn't going to check the roots, however. Here we are. And so far, every plant that I looked at, there was another plant's roots in its area. So this plant is not here. What is this? This is the Goliath pepper. Another one that's thriving. So the plants are over thriving. Now we know what's happening. I don't want to cut off too much of his roots. So I'm just going to cut off the roots that are at the bottom here that are in the inappropriate area. It was not, I know the plant wasn't growing, but it wasn't going slow either. So we are, every single plant. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to do root check. And every single root that I have taken out has had someone else's roots in it. Everyone. Alrighty. So these are the lettuce. We're not going to take our long time to do. So here's the lettuce. Here's some roots that are well in. I don't know where they're coming from because they are so far in. Usually I use my little fork. It smells like tomatoes. And I see, look, I was just talking, wow, the tomatoes. Oh, they're so big. Wow. I wouldn't, how are they getting, they're so giant. They're flowering everywhere. This is why. They're flowering everywhere because they're in all of another plant's section. And I don't see them, but I could smell that it smells like tomatoes. So the roots smell like tomatoes. They smell like what the plant is. But even though it was in here, you can see more of these tomatoes forming from the side. Even though it was in here, the lettuce was still doing very well. You know, we still have way more than enough lettuce that is growing here. So go figure. All right, this is our pepper plant. Our pepper plant's doing pretty good. I don't even know where the lettuce was. They're so big. I think I might leave them out and harvest and put them in the refrigerator. No, we're getting them in. We're getting them in. Let's see. This one is tight. It's in there tight. Let's put them in. So I cut and come again harvest. I don't usually just do a big harvest. Sometimes I do a big harvest. But for the most part, I do cut and come again. That means we have salad today. We cut them open. All right, this has a safety lock to make sure you don't get into anything. All right, so let's do what we came to do and not get too sidetracked. Where'd you get this from?
This.
Okay, excuse me. First step is lift the pump. We're going to get this done quickly. We're going to be in and out. We spent an hour watering, which is extremely long. But we were mostly feeding. Usually it doesn't take so long to water the plants because I'm usually not feeding them and changing who gets what food. If I'm feeding the high nitrogen, I'm just only doing high nitrogen that day. But since I'm taking you guys along with me, I decided we could do all of them. What plant is that? There's a plant here that's not feeling well. Well, it has some dead leaves on it, but I don't know which plant has a dead leaf. Is it Ah, it's the basil. Yeah, the basil is fighting the good fight here through everything. The leaves are falling off. Basil is usually a plant that does good anywhere. But anyways, we take it off. It's time to switch to water. This video is about watering. You take off the handles. Sometimes I have things on here. So that's a humidifier. Usually I use it in the winter. It hasn't been too dry, so I haven't had to use it. You want to be gentle. Move it over. I put it on the towel. You hold it by the poles, not by the lights. And then we go here to our water, our yucky water. You guys know the steps. Sometimes I look back here, then I took it off. See how it's looking. Sometimes plants are growing back there. Tomatoes always like to grow back there. That's their favorite thing to do, is grow back there. And then there are tons of ripe tomatoes bursting. You're like, oh, I've never seen that there, because they were back there. All right, we're gonna do an observation video, because I'm taking so much time just looking at the plants. We're not actually doing our watering that we came to do. All right, let's get our plants here. Let me just show you guys. Usually I take you guys outside with me, but why? Why have you guys suffered through all the cold? You know what? You're going outside. I was gonna say no outside. Let me bring the container out, and here we are. So this is where we do our water. So you don't have to do it outside. I just do it because it's close.
Hi guys.
So we have our mixture, and as I said, just come on out. She's getting nervous about holding the door. Come on.
Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome. And we just feed our plants that are here. There's nothing. Water's doing fine. So I give it to our greens, our collards. No.
Yes.
Don't spray us. And it's 10 gallons of water. And then we have our hose here. Oh, what is this? Flat? Maybe jet. Yes, don't come on the plant. We power blast our water. Come back here. Again, these plants are now getting a good dose of healthy. So with the the Hydro Boost, and other items that we put in our water. As you can see, the water is pretty clean. There's not any residue. The high-powered blast is pretty. It gets rid of anything lingering.
Hey!
So we just fill this up. Whoops! Now I don't have to have it on that. So we just fill this up, 5 gallons, and that's it. When I was inside, the water is not from the sink is not as high blast and powerful. So I do use some vinegar. The hose wasn't connected last time I did this. So I did use vinegar, and I did it inside. When it's outside and using this high pressured water, there's no residue in there. I think I mentioned I put some vinegar in there because we had some overgrowth of good algae. Uh, the algae kind of competes with the plants. So it's not that it really destroys the plants, but it competes with the plants for nutrients. So your plant won't get as much nutrients if it's fighting with the algae. The mature plants don't care because they're grown, their roots are grown. They're just grown and fruiting. So you see sometimes the pepper plants, well, not even because that's what happened to the banana pepper plant. It was competing with the good algae. So I clipped it down and it's coming back now. But we use we just use some household vinegar and that. Watch it for this thing falls on you. So 5 gallons is about up to that line. Of course, this is not flat, so this is a guesstimate. But for the most part, excuse me, I've usually been correct, so we're gonna bring this back in and bring the other one out. Oh, all right, come on, get the door. You coming in or are you staying out? All right, you do whatever you want because I'm going right here. Come on. We got the door. All right, so I'm bringing you guys in. She tripped. So I guess you guys are coming. Come on. It's okay. All right, so we got this in. I'll send you a sweep there. Okay, it's okay. Ooh, it's cold.
Oh, cold?
Yes, it's cold. Let's sweep our little corner out. Before we put it back. So a quick little sweep. No, it's cold. Excuse you. That's dangerous.
Dangerous?
Yes, dangerous. Caution. So this is where we got a little caution means move. It's dangerous.
The water.
Listen, you are not a swimmer yet.
Oh, that's so heavy.
Yes, it's heavy. It's not for you to play with. Excuse me.
It's so heavy.
It is too heavy. All right. So yes, it is heavy. It's 5 gallons of water. Let's see. Let's put this here. Let's just add our food. 5 gallons. We have fruiting, well-matured plants. Let's see. I don't even know if you guys can see what's going on here. We have some fruiting, well-matured plants. So we are going to be adding in 5 spoons of water. Do not play with the water. Excuse me. You're going to get cold. As I mentioned earlier, our water purifier, our Hydro Boost we ran out to, supposed to come in today. So once it comes in, I'll just be adding 2 spoons, 3, 4, 5. I'll be adding 4 spoons of the Hydro Boost. Every time you add a gallon, I have a gallon of water there. Whoops. I just put this in here by accident after rinsing it off. Okay, so it's gonna close this. Then we put it back. Excuse me, our stuff is on the timer. So I tried to leave it off too long just in case. Excuse me. Just in case I don't know what time the timer goes on and off. So we just lift it. Of course, I pass the cover section. just rest it on here. Excuse me, I need to get into the corner.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
This is weird. I need that.
You don't need to touch. We got some of our parsley inside. You gotta get it out. Is it on flat? There we go. Then it's on flat. Then we lower our pump in and put our lid on. And there we have it. Just moving it a little further back. It was in this corner, but not fully in the corner. So that's how we change our water on our garden. So we have our next one on this side. This one has a lot less things going on. No! Danger! Don't do that. Hold on. Let's get this from her. No. Not for little girls. No. You're not gonna feel good. Your stomach's gonna hurt you. That's not for kids. It's not for ladies. Here. Your stomach's gonna hurt you. You can't touch that. It's not good for the belly. It's gonna make your belly hurt. Okay? Just stay here. We're gonna go outside in a few minutes again. All right. So then we have our other one. Now this one, we have this tomato plant. I'm gonna be taking it out. We're gonna have a video where we deep dive and reorg some of these plants. Because this tomato plant is, it's a bigger variety, and I think it's too big, and it's just been growing and kind of growing and trying to grow, but it hasn't been making it. So I'm going to take it out and leave room for another plant that can handle the garden and put this tomato plant someplace else. But let's take off. We have a lot less plants on this one. We have a lot less plants on this one, and this is where we're going to be putting some of those new kids in. So we're going to let them go in with their fresh water. So again, the steps, you open the arms on the side. This is our lemon pepper, which is doing pretty good. It got a little lemon pepper in there. We had a very large harvest from it the other day. Quite a few lemon peppers in there, actually. No, this is going on. The center is a little dry. I did change its space so I could get more light. And then we have, so you open those two arms there. Our pepper plant is holding on here. I think I might have to put some more supports on this garden. So yeah, we're gonna have to do a whole video on that because this video on watering is pretty long. So we're just gonna have a garden upkeep video, garden reorg video. We go through some of these items. This video is getting pretty long, and we're only supposed to be watering. But these aren't things that you have to do. They're just regular upkeeps if you're interested in doing sometimes with your garden. I moved the plants around. I was trying out different seeds. Sometimes I see plants that do better in different lights. This spinach plant is really large. And we might be doing good if we rearranged it to a place where it fits better. I mean, it fits pretty good there on the top because nothing is getting in its way. All right, so yes, back to us and our water. What is that? Oh. So this one has cucumbers. Oh, that's not the right one for watering. This is our water container. This one is less red. Interesting. Usually. Yes. All right, we're going back outside. Come on, outside. Yeah, so let's go back outside so we can clean out this tank. Do our quick tank clean. Come on. Outside. 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 Right where we were.
It's so cool. That's so awesome.
Yeah. Oh, well, we have to do this side because we fed those plants. So now we have to feed these plants on this side.
Mom. Hey. Go back here.
All right, so we're gonna give the extra food to the plants here. We got this one, this section right. Oh my goodness, I think I may have put too much. The wave of water is so strong. This one is a lot more dirtier. Okay, let us power this one out. This has a lot of actual dirt in it. There's a leaf in there. This is why we rinse out our. The other plant had more food in there. All right. Oh, there's a plant here too. Good thing I didn't start filling it up there. Let's see what's going on. Power off some of these things. This container has definitely moved to get clean. See if there's any other anything else. Let's see. All right, it looks pretty. Oh no! She just stepped on some red cabbage. Don't step on the red cabbage. All right, so let's just fill this up. No. You dropped on the cabbage. Come this way. Move back. We're gonna fill this up with our 5 gallons of water. Water.
Wow! Thank you.
Now, it's cold. No. Don't step on the plants.
No.
Yes, your ball. It's not a ball to throw. Yeah, 5 gallons is about up to this line here. I use the water from outside. Because I was outside, is why we watered the plants with. So the plants inside could use it too. And then of course it has the Hydro Boost While I'm here, let me give these plants some water on this side. Give these plants on this side some extra water. Well, this side got a lot of water. Clean it out. Let's turn the water off. Come on, hey, hey, this way. Come on, this way. This way, inside. Inside. Woo! Come on. All right, we're gonna go back and come on, inside. Inside. She's having too much fun out there. All right, so we're gonna sweep out a little corner here, and then we're gonna add our food to our container. So this is pretty easy steps. You just add the water, clean it out, and add the food back. Come on. Goodbye. This is the only hard part, is carrying the 5 gallons of water. But it's okay because sometimes I fill the water up here, so you don't have to carry it. So there's different ways to do it to make it a little more easier. So these are our flowers from our cucumbers. This cucumber plant is also a larger variety of cucumbers I was trying out. I don't think it's doing too well in here, but we will check in on it and see. So yeah, this is just from our plant there. She's outside. Let's come on, right here. The inside. We're inside. That's it. Woo! No more cold. Okay. So yes, so this is a longer watering than usual. So we add our food, 5 gallons, 5 spoons for fruiting plants. We don't have that much fruiting plants on this tree, but we do have some fruiting plants. So 5 gallons, 5 spoons.
Yay!
So 1,
Yay!
2, 3, 4, 5. And you don't have to uncover it every time you feed it. Feed the plant. So when I add water, I don't take the whole cover off. I just take the little lid piece off. That's over there. I don't uncover it. Excuse me.
Huh? So me?
Yes, excuse you. All right. So this part of our pepper plant has been against this wall the whole time. Get your hand out of there. This whole time. So we got a few peppers on it. But I try to get the little dry leaves off. No, you don't need to touch it. That have built up from it being so close to the wall. We got quite a few little peppers in here, just a few of them. We did our big harvest recently, so this plant is recharging for its next time. We also changed its location. I don't think any plants should be bothering it because there's not a plant too close to it. This celery, we just took it out, so it's doing fine. And we do have a little bit of flowers on the new side growing it, so it's fine. We got lots of new flowers growing on this pepper plant, so it's just working on it. Lots of new buds. This is working on this next stage, but because this is so pressed up against the wall and I can't see it, when I take the plants off of the thing, sometimes I try to do this. I've been shaking this plant out because I know there's a lot of little dead leaves. Some of these leaves are from plants that were over the pepper plants. Some of them are from the pepper plant. Here you go. There's a whole stem that broke off. So you want it to be breathable. You don't want the plants to be all tangled up with themselves. I don't have a fan over here. The fan that I have, since this was in the other room before the holidays, The fan is in there. It's not in this room. It's where the plants were before. So all the plants were actually in my office. They weren't here in the dining room, but I like them in the dining room, so they're gonna stay here. All right, so then let's put it back together. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me is for you. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
You step one step back. All right, now we put our garden back on. Same lift. This one is a lot lighter. I put it too close to the wall. Just rest it on. Let me see if the little hands are open. This hand closed while I was carrying it. There we go. You close the hands back. This one was a little bit over because you have to get the pepper plant room. You drop your handle back in here. There we go. No one leaves in there. Yeah, our next video is going to be a garden upkeep. We're going to have to add some of our accessories back on. Oops. Our next video is going to be a garden upkeep. We're definitely going to have to add some of our accessories back on. And then we have our plantings.
Done.
Done. 4. So that's how many you put in there. 4 spoons of, of the food. So in this garden, we have spinach, Swiss chard, dill, cucumbers, which I don't know. I tried out a new type of cucumbers. I'm not sure how they're taking on. I may have to take them out of here. We have these vining tomatoes, which aren't doing too well. If these continue to have issues, I'm going to, no, you can't open this. I'm going to move it to our green stalk in the other room so that these cucumbers will have a lot more space to grow. But we have garlic chives, more dill, stevia. Our stevia plant is growing a new section. We have 2. This is a cutting of our stevia plant here. So this is the stevia right here. And the cutting that we cut off and grew, the cutting was very small. You'll follow up on some of our other videos. And then it was cutting off of this plant. And so this plant is growing a little new part at the bottom there. We have beets. We have lettuce, lemon balm, more chives, and we are going to be adding, stop, this is not good for your stomach. We're going to be adding in this plant. We should do that right now because we have the space, we have the time. Let's add it in. Uh-oh, I almost killed these. The cover is shifted. You got to be very gentle with these. The cover shifted and they just fell sideways. All right, one of them did break. Did it break? I don't know. It seemed like it broke. Woohoo! In the blink of an eye. All right, so this one is definitely too big. Can I have 2 banana peppers? Some people say plant them in 2s. We're going to plant these in 2s. See how it goes. Let's put this on here. We have this space. It's so easy to just drop the pods in. One of the things I was thinking to do is add these vines, the trellis on. I can have a trellis on it with this here. So you just pop the cover off. We're going to let 2 grow in here. I'm thinking about some of our other pepper plants that we have here. It fits fine. The banana pepper is usually just 1 stem. So we could tie that on and have some support. Here's our other banana pepper down there. It seems to be doing pretty good. We're going to have a lot of banana peppers on here. Let me see what's going on the roots. Yeah, we did have a lot of healthy growth on this. I just wanted to make sure everything is still going good. I didn't notice until I saw these plants weren't doing too well, the babies. So the babies show when there's too much algae growth. That is not healthy. So this one, I caught it in time. The other ones just like fell out. So we have that one. The mustards, we have to break them into separate plants to get them in there, which might take a few minutes. Do you guys have a few minutes? All right, let's take our few minutes and break these into, I feel like, so the thing with these mustards that's making me a little nervous about, it's 5 of them, so maybe that's why they can't grow any bigger. They don't have their true leaves, but they have roots, so they're ready to eat. So I'm gonna, you know what, let's just put them in. We're gonna put them in 2 by 2. So we have a mustard square here. All right, you know what? We're doing all the things that we aren't supposed to do. Oh, I'm getting happy birthday. I am in zone 8A. Let's see what other questions we have. What plants are you growing? And how many watts for I'm in zone 8A. How many watts for the grow lights? These came with the machine, so I do not have the exact amount of wattage. I can go look up though the ones that I did purchase for the other room and let you guys know how many watts. But I think I got pretty high wattage. I think they're supposed to be between like 3,000 or 63,000 watts. I always use LED lights, full range spectrum. Since we're here and I'm gonna be moving the mustards, let's move this plant over now. So we have this pepper plant. Let's move it over to the side. One thing about the pepper plant, it actually started out here. It does need a lot of light, but it doesn't need the most amount of light, and it still gets the light when it's not touching the light. So in this position, it still gets a lot of the light it needs. Whoops. There we go. It still gets a lot of light it needs. You can see it bends that way, but it'll bend right back towards the light. So it is fine. Just so we keep looking at it. It's not recently cut. So right now it's bent towards the light, but it'll start bending in the other direction. Wow, we have quite a few peppers on here. And I thought I ate all the peppers off this plant. We got pepper right here. We got one here. I thought I ate off all the peppers. I was like, whew, we got to plant more peppers because I ate off all the peppers like so quickly. All right, so we got a few dry leaves here. Usually I do a pruning after all of that harvesting. So there's another third one back here. After doing so much harvesting, I do a pruning, but I'm not going to be able to do that. So yeah, I'm going to put the amount of light wattage in the comments so you could come back and see it. Then we have, all right, so I'm going to put the mustard green here. The mustard green also not a high, it doesn't need that much light. So it's not a plant that is required and requesting a lot of light. However, this plant was taking up all the light from all of the plants in this area. So I wanted to just get it out of that area, period. Put something else there. So let's get some rock wool and get our mustard plant. Good. So we do have, I should have some cubes. This is one cube that says mustard already. It had a mustard, but what happened? Oh, that's when I noticed that it was the good bacteria eating it away. So I'm gonna rinse these 2 out that have the mustard greens here, and we're gonna put these mustards in there. We're gonna keep them in 2 by 2. They grew a good size with them in 2 by 2, so I'll leave them in that vein inside, and then we're gonna put one here. Probably put one on the other planter. But we got a lot of food in here. We got sage. I recently started growing sage for the first time. It tastes so nice. I love it so much. I put it in chicken when I'm seasoning the chicken. It just tastes great when you're seasoning chicken. Oh, Zone 9A, Liverpool, UK. Thanks for joining us. Wow, you guys are far out there. What time is it over there? Liverpool. Yes, I have time. So we have time. This is time growing right here. very small. You have thyme right here, also very small. My thyme kind of started dying when it was, oh wow, it's the afternoon. Okay, so it's not too early. Um, the thyme started dying off in the when it was hot. So I just started replanting thyme now that the weather got cool again. Oh yes, lemon thyme is really good. Before the summer came, my thyme was really big. But now that the summer came, it was too hot. And I also have thyme seeds and the seedlings that we planted, we have lots of thyme growing. Thank you. See a thumbs up. All right, so I have to go rinse this out. We're gonna rinse this out and get 2 rockwool cubes for our mustard greens. I love mustard greens, and so far this season, I haven't really been able to eat any. Oh wait, I think I have 2 rockwool cubes here. We do. That's great. All right, so let me just rinse this out so we have a fresh place to put them in. No, 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 you keep getting into mischiefs. No mischiefs. No mischiefs. Don't get into any trouble. No trouble. All right, that's it. Here you go. You've been helped. All right, so we have our mustard. We're gonna thin this plant out. I'm sure you guys seen this lots of times here on this channel. We thin out our plants so they can grow big and strong. The mustard greens do grow very large and the roots are very aggressive. So that's just something in general that you might want to know. Their roots are extremely aggressive. And I am going to use the water out of here, out of this cup that we got here. We got a fly in here. All type of stuff just happened. So I try to keep the rock wool a little moist when I'm putting it in there. And I'm using the water that is already has some food in it. So yeah, I was thinking that these, I don't want it to be too dry. Just put it in there and it's like super dry. These right here, we want them. Probably some food would help them grow a little better. So let's open it up to make things easier. I open them up to make things easier. And we're gonna do 2. First time I did mustard green, they were in a container of 2. So I think this one would be too far. This one, it looked like it snapped when I was moving the cover. This cover slipped and the plants are tall.
Mom,
Yes?
I want soda.
Want soda? Okay. We have soda, but it's not really soda. It's our soda stream
Hello.
cup of water. She always likes to drink that. All right, so we got these mustard seeds. We're separating them. And we don't want to injure anybody's roots out here. So we're just peeling them back. I'm going to keep the roots healthy together. The only thing is you don't know where which root went, the direction. Since they're all growing together, all right, there we go. So we got some division here. You let this one grow here. And this one go here. There we go. All righty. So there were no plants hurt in the moving of this mustard. This mustard plants. All right, red mustard. Here you go. So I just kind of put it back in there. They are at risk of growing a lot of algae, but these stems grow pretty big. And then we have our little cubes that keep them safe. So we're gonna pop this red one in right here, getting some good light right in the center of things. It is a low light request plant. So that's one thing about the mustard. It doesn't require the brightest lights. This is not the highlight zone, the highest light zone. The center is the highest amount of lights, so it'll be okay here. But usually, especially since the leaves grow very big, I'm just gonna make sure the water thing is facing up. Since the leaves grow very big, I usually leave it down here where there's a lot less light and we're right by the window. So there's a spot right here. As you can see, with empty space. This is where it's most likely gonna stay long term, once it gets big enough. And then something else would go here. This is, I keep like herbs usually up here. But right here, since it's aggressive, it's big, and here is a jungle with very aggressive plants. I'm gonna probably move it up there, move it down here so it can live that life. Because it is a fighter, is strong. Mustard greens do their thing here. Let me tell you. So right here is going to be its home long term, or at least for its season. Then we have another space right here. This is like a usual mustard green space. That's usually where I keep it, down there in that corner. Sometimes when it's down there, it'll go right into the bottom and drink the water straight. And they grow very large. I don't know if the babies could survive there right now. And the reason being is because I think a baby could survive here because it's tomato plants and the tomatoes aren't, they are blocking out the light, but not, it's not the big leaf lettuce. The lettuce blocks out the light. Yes?
I don't like it.
You don't like it? She's taking off her shoes. She don't want to have them on today. Checking to see if I could possibly put one of the, whoops, I just snapped the basil. Put one of the, we're going to have to trim this basil down. Put one of them here. I feel like it could, I think it can survive. It's getting more than enough light because mustard greens is not a lot of light zone. This is a bright light zone actually, but it's not. So with it here, I have to come check on it. So let's just do our next set. Right here. Ooh. All right. I don't know if that one. So that's the thing. That one hurt itself. I don't know. Then let's see. This one, it is bending, turning. All right. These two are going to stay together. Those three are going to stay together. I don't know where the roots are for this one. We're gonna leave these two together. But this one is twisty, so I don't want it to really untwist. And I'm like, maybe I should just leave those two together. Leave this one here. And let these come to rock wool. There we go. I'm being very careful not to disturb the roots too much. There we go. Undisturbed. All right, so you could stay here with the one we're not sure about. You're the strongest one. All right, so we're just going to put this one in here. Let's get the cup it's going to go into. We're going to open it up and just put that little thin one in there. I'm going to be putting this in here. It has no root disturbances in this container. This should go pretty strong. Now that I'm taking out the big ones, I'm going to, oh, this one needs a rinsing. When there's a lot of stuff like this going on, I rinse it out because this is not just dirt. See, that's like baby aloe, algae. There you go, not aloe, baby algae. So I'm gonna rinse that off before we cause any issues. Also, this plant here is kind of grown, so we don't want to waste the water because I'm about to throw it out. So I'm gonna give some of this plant some food, some nutrient-rich food. Well, the rest of them are just starting in there. Let me go rinse this off real quick. That's definitely, here you go. Come. It doesn't have that All right, hold on. We're almost finished. We took a side quest and decided to do our thin out our mustard greens and get them into our main towers. Get some babies out and in to living life. So this is our little, we didn't want to disturb it too much. Just gonna drop this in there. Again, these are one of our plants that don't like disruption. So we're gonna squeeze this in, non-disruptive plants. Our red mustard. And I was gonna put the other one there. We're gonna have to find another place for when that one gets big, probably on the outside. And we're gonna just put this in here. Let's pop it in. The tomatoes shouldn't bother. Tomatoes, it's not like the lettuce overnight. The leaf is past the size and it basically snuffs out any plant near it. The tomato plant is pretty good with leaves and the spaces that it takes up. So we have our mustard green in there. Now we have one more space. We have one more mustard plant here. We're gonna put it on the other one. All right, so this one here, this one, we have a possible injured green, but we are gonna let it see if it can survive here. It's a high possibility it would, because I'm not sure if it just bent over from snapping or did it bend over from the lid. So the lid, earlier the lid slipped. When it slipped, it hit the plant. All right, so we gotta cover that back so they can stay nice and moist. And then we are going to move this here. So yeah, we have plenty of high light, low light, medium light zones available on this side. Again, this is not a highlight zone, but it seems like we have a lot of highlight zones available. This Monte Carlo is a high light zone living in a no light area, but I think I don't know what is happening to it. It didn't look like it's doing too well, but it has some super aggressors over there. I'm gonna put this one, we're gonna leave it in the highlight for a little bit until we figure out a cooler place for it to go. The lettuce. Right here's another lettuce. I think that can handle a little more light. No, it can't because it's burning where it's at, this lettuce. This lettuce is getting too much light here. So let's see. Boy, it is really in there too. Somebody is eating. That's why this lettuce is struggling. There's a root in there. All right, so we're going to put this here and drop it in. Again, when you see them, when you enter in and it's a little brown like that, that is not dirt, that is algae. So that's algae growth inside of, let me turn this around so you get better light. So you can actually see it. That's algae growth inside of the garden. We just rinsed it out, so I got out a lot of that. So I don't want to put a seedling in this much algae growth, so I'm just going to rinse it out really quickly and then drop it in there. I think that most of this algae growth is coming in from this light from this tomato. So we have several plants here that are not really, I was testing them out to see if they could survive in the garden, even though they were not garden ready seeds. So they were a little larger. That type of tomato was one of them. So it didn't quite fit in the garden. I'm going to just plant them in our green stock over on the other side. But let's rinse this out really quick for now. Yeah, so So this garden had a lot of good algae growing in it. Over the last few weeks, I have been treating it. I used some vinegar to help keep it down, but the algae was getting to some of our less mature plants. So as you can see here, there's tons of algae growing out of here. And that's because this plant right here is letting in lots of light. See all the light coming in? So you don't want light to come in like that. So we are going to plant this someplace else. Rinse this out. Let's go plant it right now. Actually. And rinse it out. So we're going to plant it right in the soil right now and then put a cover on that so it will no longer disturb the other plant. And we have our water catchment and our potatoes growing over there. So I'm just going to put this here in this plant. Let's see if I have a shovel of some kind in this room. Shovel, no shovel. Oh, here it is. I knew the shovel was right here. I'm going to drop that in. So we have potatoes planted in here. So we're just going to put this tomato in right here. So it's a little low over there. Just going to mix it. Well, you know what? We'll mix it out and then we'll mix it in. Yeah, so the light getting into the machine is not good at all. It's very detrimental for these plants. They need to be able to their roots need to be not exposed. I'm putting the whole thing in here. This plant is, I'll say it's new. It wasn't planning on being transplanted today. So I am transplanting it this tomato plant right in here. It was not doing well in there. So we're going to give it a chance in some soil, some good light. Let it make it come back. This soil is dry. I did water it today earlier, but the water is not on the top. The water goes towards the roots. So when you have new plants in there, you got to water directly where the plant is. But we have tons of water right here. So let's give this plant some generous liquid because just this one plant, not getting the water that it needed was letting in light into the whole system, causing a problem for the entire system, which is not good. We don't want to cause problems for the whole system. We're just gonna, this is not one of our regular waters. So this is our regular water. You get this a good watering in. Turn it back on it towards the light. My light thing fell off. So right now it's just kind of standing. It was stuck on there on strips and the strips came down. So, I mean, it's standing up. It's still lighting the plants. It's standing up. It's still on this timer, but it fell off. So there it is for now. I'm going to get some combat strips and stick it back up. I'm going to give this a rinse, clean it out. Because yes, these plants, once light gets into the system, algae starts growing, and then it becomes a problem for everybody. And a lot of these plants are extra dark green, and that's from light getting in. So you want to keep everything tight and full. Even in like this one, see, it has a little extra space. It's gonna put the thing there. So this is also something you're not supposed to do. Go in, touch the soil, and then come back to the garden. It's like spread bugs. But we're here. I'm just letting you know, something you shouldn't be doing. Let me cover this and wipe it out. you off with these things. You can use vinegar to rinse it off, but I used to use our HDP, human derived proteins, and get it cleaned. Is there another mustard green that has to come in? No? All right, good. So we're just going to cover this off. So this is the proper way to stop light from getting into the system, because we've had a lot of light going into the system. All right, well, it's been Angeline and the team today. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you guys all coming in for this super long video. For more information, visit us at avgardening.com, where you can get more on gardening tips. We have our shop there. We have our favorite things. We got tons of discount codes. We have more information. We have principles. We have tons of information at AV Gardening. So see you over there at AV Gardening. Someone asked a question about the lightage use. We will have a blog up today about what lightage is being used. So thank you so much for joining. It's been Angeline and the team, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.